Hey folks, so we got our lumber delivery. Yes, I'm so happy about that. So now what we have to do is we're gonna get this unloaded. We're gonna load it up over on the trailer that I have in the yard here. That trailer right there. And get all this unloaded, and then got to start putting a plan together as to how we're going to get started on our power shed. So let's move some lumber. Oh, and thankfully I have a neighbor coming to help out. Hey folks, so now that we have moved all of our lumber to the trailer, and then we moved some boards over by the build site for the power shed, the next thing we're going to do today is we're actually going to try and get rid of some of this snow. So this section of the cabin is unfortunately covered in shade most of the day. So I'm just going to try to shovel some of this stuff out here into the grass area so we can try to get in here, because at some point I have to level this cabin. And unfortunately, I need to get right about there with the snow there. I just can't do that. So we're going to go ahead and start shoveling. I'm going to cue some music here in just a second, set this up, and let's move some snow. Well, I knew this wasn't going to be easy, but I had no idea that this was ice. It's been melting down, which is good, but then it's freezing. So it looks like snow, but it's ice. I think this is going to have to be done a little bit at a time. Okay. Well, I think that's it for now. I'm exhausted. I really didn't move a lot. I moved some, but nowhere near how much I wanted to, but we got other projects to do. I hope that this will help a little bit, kind of get that process started with the sun, open it up a little bit. So we'll see. Behind me here is a pile of the wood that we had cut the first year we were here, so that would have been in 2019. And this is actually the wood that came from where our cabins are. There's a few reasons we're going to be messing with this. Number one, all of this wood is good firewood for the shop. I'm not so keen on having to use good hardwood for the firewood in the shop. Reason being is we're not going to be heating it all the time. And in fact, you know, this softwood stuff is just perfect for it. I'm going to need wood for short, really quick hot fires while I'm working in the shop during the wintertime. This wood is great. It's small, it's manageable. And the best part about it is it's already cut, so I don't have to worry about splitting any wood or cutting any wood. So the plan is simple. We're going to take this wood and we're going to go put it in the firewood shed over by the shop. Underneath this, there's a couple of pallets we're going to want to pull up once the ice thaws out from underneath it. We're also got to get all these poles out. We've got to get the poles that we used for the firewood tarp out as well. The goal is to open this area up, and in the summertime, when we can get the gravel trucks in here, we're going to gravel this whole area here in front of the firewood shed. Not a very serious project, but certainly a chore that needs to be done. All of these big pieces here, these longer pieces, there's a big pile right behind the camera. We're going to put them in there, and once this is all done, then we're going to be chopping that up at some point. So there we go. Okay, so that was the first load. I think I've got probably at least one more, maybe two more loads left. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and yeah, let's go finish that. The nice thing about the dog is that I can do work, and I know that he's got my back. This one, not so much. He's kind of an opportunistic one, and he just plays. But Tassunka there, he is certainly on guard duty right now. And when he hears something, Witka will, be right by his side. But yeah, we're so happy to have him. So grateful. All right, so I have cleared out as much as I can get out now. The rest of this is just too frozen in the ground. Like every other project we've worked on, that's just gonna have to wait a few more days until it thaws out for us. So that's okay. I mean, I've got a nice pile of wood started, and I think, what I'm gonna do next is, originally I had thought about working on this, but it is still buried in snow. I don't want to have to try to battle with the snow too, so I'm going to let this pile here thaw out, the snow around it. Should maybe take about a week or so. And in the meantime, I've got a small pile of wood that I can move, so we're going to go move that. And then I think what I'm going to do is, I've got a small shed that's built next to the bigger shed. And previous owner had filled that up with firewood. And it is really, really dry. There is quite a bit of it. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head over there next, pull all that firewood out, and we're going to stack it in our firewood shed so we can use that next year. The small shed, all that lumber that's over there, we're going to tear that down and we're going to use that to help build the firewood shed next to the shop. So this is the wood shed that's actually attached to the bigger shed. And so what we're going to do is pull all this wood out. We're going to put all of this wood over at our firewood shed. This stuff is extremely dry, extremely seasoned. It's been here for years. And there's no reason why we can't use it for next winter. It's perfectly good firewood, and it'll be a nice mix. Okay, so I've got all the firewood over here in this stack here. You can kind of see, you know, this line here of the old and the newer stuff that we recently cut. So we got a substantial amount of wood, which is good. It's just less wood for me to have to split later. There is some wood that was in that shed that I'm actually going to add to the firewood shed over by the shop. So let's go do that. All right, so we have got the firewood shed for the shop filled up with firewood. I think this is more than enough than what I'm going to use for next winter. I'm not sure yet how much wood I'm going to use. We'll see, I guess. If I need more wood, obviously we have more wood, but this is all the junk stuff that we've had and that we've gotten. So we're going to burn it up, and yeah. So next step is to build the top, kind of reinforce the walls, and then you know, we'll be able to call this good. But for right now, it has been a long day and I am exhausted. The dogs are exhausted. We're all ready to go in. We are done with trudging through this mud and muck. Thanks for watching. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and do that, and definitely please subscribe. We appreciate every one of you for sure. Check down in the description. We've got our new merchandise as well. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next video.